So our process started earlier this year when we made the decision to go with Inflo and that be our audit methodology moving forward. Since then, we're really right in the middle of the implementation process. So we've gone through a internal process where we've developed an implementation team that's comprised of various members of our assurance practice. We've been going through the content packs, understanding how they operate, the questions, the work paper functionality, understanding how different tools and responses are going to speak to each other within the template and within the Inflow tool itself. We've been making customizations to that process, so understanding where we want to turn on certain firm settings, how we want our teams to interact with the tool, and then making customizations to various templates or work papers, supplementing our templates with what already exists in Inflow. And so right now we're building that out. We're almost complete with it. We are now collaborating with other service groups within our firm. So when you think about tax, our outsourced accounting folks, our IT audit team, understanding how they're going to interact with the tool, what tools that they're using, and how we're going to share information. So we're working on that phase of it right now while we're completing up our content pack reviews and building those out for Dean Dorton specifically to understand, okay, what's going to be the Inflow standard way of doing things and where do we want you to supplement a little bit with the Dean Dorton memos, templates that our team is used to using and building out within the tool. In the next couple of months, we'll be training our team members on Inflow and how to use that and be introducing that tool to them. So we're very excited about that. And then later on this year, starting with our 12/31 engagements, that's when our go live will be for our team to fully start using the tool on all of our assurance engagements, from audits to reviews, compilations, AUPs. And so that's what we're looking ahead at. From an improvement standpoint, we're looking at efficiencies. We're looking at more automation. Getting out of a server-based on-premise tool and into a cloud-based platform is going to be huge for our team members. They're really going to enjoy that aspect of it. We're looking for more improvements in the value that we're providing to our clients through the data that's available to us and the reporting. More targeted questions that are more focused on the risks that exist within a specific client versus just industry standard, same as last year type normal, risks that people may carry over year. We're looking for user experience and how our teams are interacting with it, how they like the platform. We're hoping that that's going to improve and how they navigate and interact with each other in the platform or in the tool. We're also looking at from a client standpoint, collaborating with a client and being able to send them things right out of the tool. With Inflow Select, it can automate the sample sizes for us and then automatically send those sample sizes to management for our detail testing. So just having that workflow enhancement and improvement, I think, is something that we're really looking at and really excited about. I think the biggest thing is do due diligence. Make sure you're taking your time to evaluate all tools available, not just Inflow. And I think Inflow management would recommend that as well. They've been very transparent through the process and very upfront as far as how they view other products and where the direction they're headed. I think it's important for a firm to understand what they prioritize internally. What direction is the firm going? Again, you don't want to align yourself with a vendor or tool that's not going to align with your internal objectives or your strategies. If you're a firm that's going to sit back and you kind of want like the industry norm, you don't want a tool that's going to push you and innovate you. You want something that's going to be comfortable. And for us, when we were going through the process, one of the key things is that Inflow wasn't comfortable to us. It was going to challenge us. It was going to, be something that's different for our team. But I think we needed that. I think we needed to be shaken up a little bit because that's what's happening in our industry. And that's what we're seeing with other firms. And so to align ourselves with a tool such as that, I think is great for our team, and it's going to help us execute our strategy. But do your due diligence, talk to management, talk to other firms, understand how other firms are using it, what experiences they've had, understand how management interacts with you after you sign on. That's a big thing, right? Because when you're going through the process and everybody's trying to get your business, they'll say anything you want to hear in order for you to sign that contract. But what happens after? right? What's that relationship like, that ongoing engagement with the vendor and with the company that you're going to be aligning yourself with? I think that's vitally important, and understanding kind of, what changes are going to be made, your voice in the process. How are they going to take feedback? How are they going to continue to innovate and push through the changes that you would like to see or that the industry would like to see? So do due diligence, talk, solicit feedback, try to understand as much as you can as far as what you're getting yourself into, and then try to align internally with your objectives and what the vendor's objectives are. I think the biggest thing that comes to mind with Inflow and our experience thus far is that, one, they're willing to listen to us. They're willing to give feedback. I think what firms sometimes forget when they're transitioning to a new tool or a new audit methodology is that it's going to be work regardless. It doesn't matter what tool you select, whether it's Inflow or something else. It's a lift. It's a lot of change for our teams. And think about the first time that you went through your initial audit methodology that you may be using now. You probably went through initially and then over the subsequent years and developed your own templates, your own memos, your own tools. You probably customized a lot of stuff within that methodology. And to look at Inflow or another tool and expect it to be the end all be all for you and, a perfect operating package right out of the gate, I think is a lofty expectation that we can't put on any tool. And the reality of it is that regardless of what option you might choose, there's going to be customizations that you're going to make. Your firm's going to have your own way of thinking, your own way of doing things. You might, think about a certain aspect of the methodology a little bit different or a different template, and you might see some efficiencies somewhere else. That's okay. That doesn't mean that Inflow is inoperable or it's not usable. It means that, you're customizing just like you customized in the past, and how firms are going to continue to customize. And the great thing about Inflow is that when you have that feedback, you see an area where you're customizing and you would like them to try to improve that area or shift it in a way that may be better suited for your firm and other firms to use. They're listening, they're innovating. So the stuff that we've run into and said, hey, this is great right now, but this is how it could be better. We've been able to provide that to Inflow, and they've listened to us, and they're actively making improvements as they're going through the process, and they're working on things. And so you can talk to them. You can look at their suggestion page on their Inflow site. You can look at their roadmap and, their development tools and see what's in progress. And so it's great to have that relationship where you can go to somebody and say, this is great, but how can you make this better? And they listen to you, and they're willing to take that on and improve. So they're constantly innovating. They're constantly improving. I'm excited about where they are right now. I'm really excited about where they're going to be in 2 to 3 years from now. And that's where I think we're really going to realize the efficiencies. Our team's going to love the tool. We're going to really look back and say this was a great decision that we made.